Have you ever wondered why immigration policies stir so much controversy in the United States? Indeed, the political divide on this issue is as wide as it is deep. On one side of the aisle, Republicans argue for stricter border controls, emphasizing national security and the rule of law. They advocate for more stringent vetting of migrants and the construction of physical barriers to prevent illegal immigration. Countering this, Democrats push for creating pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, focusing on the rights of asylum seekers and addressing the root causes of migration. They argue for a more compassionate, humane approach, stressing the need to support individuals fleeing hardship. These contrasting perspectives have resulted in a deadlock on several key immigration issues, with both sides blaming the other for the lack of progress. As we delve deeper into the issue, it becomes apparent that the divide is not just about policy, but also about different visions for America's future. To understand the current standoff, it's essential to trace the evolution of the bipartisan blame game. The immigration debate has seen numerous key moments, each highlighting the growing divide between Democrats and Republicans. In the past, Republicans have consistently pushed for stricter border controls and law enforcement, viewing such measures as vital to national security and the rule of law. Their calls for physical barriers along the US-Mexico border and stringent vetting processes for migrants have been met with opposition from Democrats, who advocate for a more humane approach. Democrats typically argue for pathways to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, protection of asylum seekers' rights, and addressing root causes of migration. They stress the need for compassion and support for individuals fleeing hardship, a stance often criticized by Republicans as too lenient. This divide was starkly highlighted during the Trump administration, with policies such as the implementation of Title 42 expulsions during the COVID-19 pandemic and the separation of families at the border. These actions sparked widespread criticism from Democrats, further deepening the partisan rift. The Biden administration has attempted to reverse some of these policies, focusing on a more humanitarian approach. However, these efforts have been met with criticism from Republicans, who argue that border security measures are inadequate. The conflict between the two parties over immigration reform is not new, but it has become more intense and polarized in recent years. This ongoing bipartisan blame game continues to thwart attempts at comprehensive immigration reform, leaving the issue unresolved and the nation divided. So, what does this stalemate mean for the millions of immigrants in the United States and for the country's future? Let's take a step back and consider the implications of this bipartisan blame game. The stalemate on immigration policies has tangible impacts on people's lives. Undocumented immigrants, many of whom have lived in the United States for years, remain in a state of limbo, uncertain about their future. They are often forced to live in the shadows, unable to fully participate in the society they call home. Asylum seekers, who have fled dire conditions in their home countries, often find themselves caught in a system that is overwhelmed and under-resourced. They are seeking safety and a chance at a better life, but the current political divide often leaves them in a state of prolonged uncertainty. The focus on border security, while important, can sometimes overshadow the need for a comprehensive approach to immigration. The emphasis on law enforcement and physical barriers often comes at the expense of addressing root causes of migration and creating pathways to citizenship. And of course, this ongoing deadlock has broader implications for American society and politics. It fuels division and distrust, making it harder to find common ground and move forward. It also impacts America's image abroad, influencing how the world perceives the country's commitment to human rights and social justice. As the bipartisan blame game continues, the need for a comprehensive, fair, and humane approach to immigration becomes ever more urgent. Thank you for watching. We would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to become a part of our community and stay updated.